Yes, yes. We're happy to be here.
Oh,
Oh, we need to move the camera.
no, shh.
Nick, Lisa, do you guys mind moving your camera just a little bit? Or if you want to just scoot more in,
Yeah, we can do that.
just so we've got an equal amount of both of y'all's beautiful faces.
No, like,
Oh, other way.
There we go.
Yeah,
Perfect.
yeah.
Okay.
Shadow's bad.
Yeah. There we go.
Do you want me to start?
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah.
Wanna do
So,
the intro?
welcome down. Welcome down.
Welcome down.
Welcome down. Okay. Here we go. Welcome to our podcast, Breaking Down Lymphoma, where we try to break down lymphoma into more understandable means of communication so that we can spread awareness to our peers. My name is Bailey.
Hi guys, welcome to our podcast where we try to simplify lymphoma. My name is Tetso Tuku and thank you for joining us.
Today we have our friends Nick and Lisa Timmons. We just want to hear what they have to say. So, Nick, Lisa, if you guys want to add any brief stuff, please let us know.
Like introductions,
Yeah.
you guys can go ahead and introduce yourselves.
My name is Nick Timmons. I've been battling lymphoma for almost 2 years now.
Yes, he was diagnosed July of 2020, and it's been kind of a roller coaster ever since.
Neat. Hey, Nick, to start out, how old are you, by the way? I just wanted to know because I know we knew that you were in high school. We just want to know, like, how old you actually are.
I'm 16.
Cool, cool. So, awesome. Well,
So is lymphoma a generic disposition in your family? Did you guys have a history of anybody that had struggled with lymphoma in your family?
We actually have, my dad had Hodgkin's lymphoma a couple years ago. So there's not really supposed to be any genetic, it's not supposed to be like that, but we are going to get some testing done in June to see if there's any, link between, him and I.
oh, wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, because in my head I always just thought all cancers in general
I
were
thought so, too.
generically disposed. Oh, okay, so that's interesting.
We're learning a lot.
Right,
Yeah.
and so are we, and so are we. Can you take us through your journey, in terms of like the initial symptoms, diagnosis, adjusting to what would have been your new normal at the time, and how it would have impacted like your daily regimen, your routine?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, it started earlier, kind of along during football season, my 8th grade year. I had started to lose some weight, and we just kind of thought because I was growing and getting taller and everything and just running and losing weight. So we never really thought much of it. And I just kept dropping weight and kept dropping weight. And then I had a rash that kind of came up that we thought was a reaction to something, but we just got like a Decadron shot. And
There were just a lot of strange factors that kind of came into play. And he got some circles around his eyes and some, red marks on his skin. We just couldn't quite figure out what was going on. And then he had some chest pain, and we went for an x-ray because he thought he hurt his shoulder. And that's when they found the mass in his chest.
Oh, wow. During, like, living here in Oklahoma, you never know what that could be. That could be just a young boy growing, or, like, since you said this was 2 years ago, this could have been possibly COVID. You never know. So that's definitely, like, shows me that you need to be more body aware, or that we need to be more body aware, like, and recognize when something really isn't going right. So I could only imagine how hard that was to, pinpoint, especially being a young, healthy kid at
It
the
took us
time.
several months, actually. Everybody just kept saying, oh, it's puberty. It's
Yeah.
puberty.
Oh,
Let
yeah,
it go.
absolutely.
Right.
Yeah.
Especially growing, doing sports that, like, kids hit a growth spurt and they, like, so I could
Right.
only imagine.
Yes. We checked everything.
Yeah, I bet. How long? You said it took a couple months. How long did that take? And at the final month that you guys found out, what was your initial reaction to it?
It took about probably 5 months of us questioning, things going on, trying to figure out what was actually happening with him, and just, strange things were going. And then once it did, we felt bad, because if we wouldn't have got a chest x-ray for his shoulder, this spot have went too far and we may not have him today. So, I mean, it was a very large tumor. Thank goodness his shoulder was hurting.
Yeah. Wow. So, I was gonna ask. So, for that like large tumor that you said was in your chest, did you guys have to go through like any chemo treatments to get rid of that, or maybe a surgery, or like, is it still there? Like,
It's still there.
It's still there.
okay,
Yeah.
And we've been going through chemo and
okay,
everything. Just
Yeah. We did chemo July of 2020 until November of 2020. And then they did radiation because it was 14 centimeters. It was very large. So he had a little bit of a rarity there on the size of it. And we did radiation and got remission December 10th of 2020. And he relapsed February 28th of 2021. So it only stayed away a couple months. So we're back fighting again. We had a stem cell transplant this summer. So we've really thrown everything at it. We still do chemo now every 3 weeks.
okay. We interviewed a previous guest, a previous patient, and he said that right after about a few months into chemo, he really did notice a difference. Is that the same with you by chance?
yeah, it's just kind of, it brings down your energy and just kind of makes things feel, when you get sore, it kind of feels a little bit more sore and things
Mm-hmm.
just have different feelings than they used to.
Lisa, could you notice a difference by chance?
Yes, he was weak. The chemo was really strong, and of course they told us this will do it. You won't have to have radiation. It just seemed like it was uphill the entire time, and then we did have to do radiation and relapse and doing all this stuff again. He's just been much smaller than he was. Putting some weight back on. He looks fragile to me, but of course it's my kid, so I worry about him constantly.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I was gonna say, and you can answer this if you're comfortable with it, but I know being a parent, Lisa, would you say you possibly experienced like survivor's guilt, like like feeling guilty that as the parent there was not much that you could do? I just kind of want to understand your mental health aspect of it and how you kind of navigated that part of it as a mother and as a caregiver.
Right. Well, I feel like I'm a very on top of everything mom. I get teased I'm helicopter mom. So when something starts happening, we did blood work, we kept checking. People thought I was crazy because I was just like, something's wrong. I can feel it. He looks bad. He doesn't look right. And when we finally figured it out, I felt horrible. We had been searching for 5 months to see what was wrong with my son. And when we finally found it, it was just, it was obviously devastating, but we started chemo the very next week. We were told it wasn't available for surgery because there was just a lot going on with the tumor. And everything went so fast, we didn't have time to think after that. But for the 5 months leading up to it, and the day we found it, July 20th, was on my birthday. And that was awful.
I bet.
I mean, I can't even fathom. That's so unfathomable.
Yeah. How did you both, or I guess, how did you guys break it to your family and friends? What were their initial reactions to learning about this?
My mom, she's an RN. She just said, I knew something was wrong. And, everybody, I don't really even know what their reaction was. They just all stepped up and said, whatever you guys need, we're here. We had nothing but just most positive outpouring coming towards us. And we couldn't have done it if it wasn't for our school, our community, our family. I mean, we are surrounded by the best people. So they never let me have the downtime. They just kept everything going. They helped us so much.
Man, I love that. I absolutely love hearing that. That's what our previous patient had said. He said that find your support system, and that's what helped him a lot too.
It's our community. We're so blessed to be here.
That too. Goodness, I love it. As a teenager, did you ever anticipate being diagnosed with lymphoma? I know
No.
the answer is definitely no, but like, definitely tell me. I guess definitely no, but tell me what your first thoughts were.
Just whenever the doctor came in and started telling us and just kind of explaining what was going on in the situation and everything, and it took a little bit to set in. It was kind of more just, the first question I asked was, all right, what do we have to do to get rid of it now? And it's just first thought was, let's just get on top of it so it doesn't get any worse.
Yeah. How did your friends react? And did any differ? Like, did they treat you different in any way?
Not really. They all just kind of, we've always just been real close with all my friends. So it's just kind of,
They rallied.
yeah.
They rallied.
Okay,
Yes.
cool, cool. Because you never know, some people might just be afraid of that, be afraid of the unknown, you know?
There definitely were some that were, but
There's some that were, but
they really stepped up.
yeah, they stepped up and they definitely got used to it after a little bit. And it's kind of just like, well, it's still me. It's not anything different.
Right. You're still a kid. You're still like growing up, still in high school, you know? So,
So is there anything that you guys try to do just to retain that normalcy? Like any activities that you guys like to do? Or is like, do you guys, just to retain that sense of normalcy?
We just he stayed involved in sports and kept going to school regardless. He never missed a day of school unless he had treatment. And
you
that
go,
was,
mama.
He's a straight A student. I mean, he's got goals in life and those aren't stopping. So
Good. I'm glad, I definitely see that as being like normalcy because like during COVID, being on school online, that's the new normal. So it was weird. So definitely being in person,
Yes.
it makes you feel better because you see people. People
Right,
need people
that
to interact with.
interaction,
Yeah.
for
So
mental, great, yes.
Yes.
So is there, Nick, is there any advice that you would like want to give like young people that find themselves in this situation, or any advice in terms of just like
being healthy, like being aware.
yes.
Yeah.
It just kind of just stay positive with everything. That's the best thing to do with anything because you can always have a better outcome staying positive. And either way, with something like this, you have to go through treatments. You have to go through stuff. So look at the better end of it. Just think it'll be over soon and just keep fighting with it. That's the best thing you can do. And just try to live life normal and have a good time.
Right.
I love that.
And Lisa, is there any words of advice for parents that find themselves in a situation?
Ooh, that one's tough. Support groups, Facebook support groups, those are great. I read a lot. Some scared me, but at least it educated me. Ask all the questions and again, just stay positive. You've got them. They're here. They're alive. Get the treatment. You just have to keep fighting.
That's what I've heard a lot about nowadays. Facebook groups, like it's like a community, and people really do like help each other out with like
Right.
tips and tricks and their personal stories and stuff. Did you learn anything? You said that some scared you, and of course, definitely is gonna scare you. But did you learn anything from those that helped you with your journey?
I more so learned things to help Nick.
Okay.
It was, chemo side effects. I didn't know how to, react to some of those. So I learned a lot from other parents that had done it a little longer than I had, how to react to things when they feel a certain way, tricks on what they could eat when they're very, very sick, because chemo was so rough on him. And so I just learned a lot of daily life, learn to just breathe, and I could take care of him. We could do this.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I appreciate you guys, like I said, taking time out of your day to share all of this information with us. We're hoping that people can leave this episode being informed and with that sense of it's not the end of life, and
It's not.
it's all about maintaining that positive
Outlook.
mentality, because I feel like when it comes to health, a lot of it starts in the mind and your attitude towards
You don't want to acknowledge that something's wrong.
right.
Yeah.
And so yeah.
I don't think I have anything else to add. I'd say thank you as well, you guys. And sorry for all our technical difficulties. Like I said, we'll blame that on the wind.
We're blaming it on the weather.
We appreciate it.
All right.
Absolutely. I guess you guys have a great week.
Have a lovely rest of your day and a great weekend.
Y'all too.
Y'all too.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you. Do you want us to do the end? Okay. They were so nice.
That I was fighting tears back the
Dude,
whole
I did
time.
I almost did. I had to look back at her because I was almost getting teared up because it made me, like, they were so nice and positive. Where are they from? Where? Okay,
Yeah,
you said
she
2
said-
hours. That sounds
yeah.
about. Their accent was thick. I was like, where are y'all from? I'm so glad that didn't go off. Okay. Well, I guess that's it for our podcast. Make sure to tune in on Spotify, YouTube, and follow our social medias, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Please feel free to like, share, subscribe, comment, do it all. On Breaking Down Lymphoma, my name is Bailey, and
my name is Tetsu. And on that note, guys, be proactive about your health. We can't stress that enough. Like we said, like, share, and subscribe. And thank you lot for joining us.
thank you. Cool.
Okay.
Yeah,
Me too.
it did.
I'm gonna cry.
He's a cutie. He was a little cutie. I was like, oh my God. Like, my little brother's 16. And I was like, God. She was so nice. Me.
Okay.
Darn it. I liked our
Okay.
intro before. Darn
Welcome.
it.
Okay.
I don't remember what I said. I can't go be good at like that again. I'm good at what I do.
Yeah, we can. 3, 2, 1. Welcome to Breaking Down Lymphoma. My name is Tezo Tugu, where we put. I don't even know. You start, baby.
Okay, I
Always
got it. I
better
got
when
it.
You start. I don't even know what I was doing.
That's fine. Welcome to our podcast today, Breaking Down Lymphoma. My name is Bailey.
My name is Tezo Tugu.
And today we are meeting with Nick and Lisa to go over the caregiver and a little bit of the patient's perspective on breaking down lymphoma and just getting a simpler look at how we can better make aware our audience and our peers. Okay, cool. I hope it was. I was about to say, I don't have anything else in me.